That is You're So Wired. The band is Lowsunday, and that is from the Black EP. And we've got the guys, Bobby and Shane. Let's see if they are on the phone with us. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Matt, hey, it's really nice to be with you.
So is this Shane?
Matt, this is Bobby.
Okay, so we got both of you guys?
Yeah, I'm Shane, and then Bobby's right here.
Wonderful. So Bobby Spell and Shane, how do you say your last name?
My last name is Saheen.
Saheen.
Yeah, a lot of people call it, say Shaney, but it's Saheen.
Saheen, yeah. Okay. All right, very good, very good. So
yeah, it's like, yeah.
So I love the project, and I'm excited to talk to you guys because you actually have you got some history here. You've been around for a while, but it's really, but also too, we should establish this. So I refer to you as a band, but is it really just the two of you in terms of the studio output? Is it just the two of you who record and produce all of this?
Well, yeah, in the last 2 years, yeah, it's just been the two of us. We sort of reunited and started just writing and recording. Yeah, and it was just us on these last two EPs. Previous to that, it was full band stuff, and we're migrating back over to full band stuff again. We're finishing an EP soon, and we're getting back into a full band, starting to play live stuff.
Oh, great!
Probably this fall.
Excellent, yeah. Excellent. In terms of what you've done recently, was it just because obviously you did have, and I do want to get into that, why you had a long break with this project, but in terms of getting back into it, was it easier to just kind of start to wade back into it with only the two of you? Is that kind of why that played out that way?
Yeah, it was just pretty natural. First off, the two of us, I'm repetitive because I say this all the time, but the two of us, we have such great conversations, and when you're younger, you don't realize that you shouldn't be writing music with people you can't have a conversation with. Because it could take 4 months. It could take 4 months to write one song, and everybody's burnt out, and it doesn't turn out as well.
That's true.
We're so communicative, so it was just easy. But really, what sort of brought us in, our old label came back and he said, "Hey, maybe we could start with a 25th anniversary remaster with bonus tracks, and then maybe we'll do the 30th anniversary remaster of the debut album with bonus tracks." So those bonus tracks is what really got us writing and curating our old material, and it kind of got the studio fired up and the software all updated, and
wow,
the learning curve was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah.
but exciting though too, right? I mean, I would imagine, after a long break. I mean, did you guys have you each during that? Is it really 25 years that Lowsunday was dormant? Is that true? Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's kind of comical. I mean, we played in other bands and did other things, and we were musically active in different ways. But yeah, we just kind of like Bobby had moved away. He was in Atlanta, and he was in Mississippi, and he was in Tupelo, and where he last left off, he was in Memphis. So we'd been talking, and it was literally, it was within days of us saying, "Look, you got to fly up here. Let's just start recording and writing a little bit." That the label got in touch with us, and the timing was just funny. Like days after that, the label got in touch and said, "Hey, we need these bonus tracks. Maybe you could do bonus tracks and do this remaster." But yeah, it was that long. I mean, Bobby had left Pittsburgh for what, 20 years?
21 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so surreal, and when you start talking the numbers, it doesn't even make sense.
Right.
It's
right.
It's so abstract.
And I have since relocated to Pittsburgh, so I'm here now. I've been back for about a year.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So do you think, the label, when they approached you about these bonus tracks and whatnot, do you think they had an ulterior motive? Like, was there somebody at the label going, if we can just get these guys to do these bonus tracks, maybe this will lead to something more?
That's kind of funny. We don't really think that way. We always think like one-dimensionally. That there could. We really don't think that. I mean,
yeah.
In this case, I think he was just saying, "Hey, look, you're really not representing your catalog." We're Bobby and I are both sort of like slash and burn types, where it's like, okay, we're doing that, and like now we're moving on. We're going to do this, and we just believe in the creative aspect of things, and we're saying, wherever it goes, we can leave it in the dust because we have more songs than us, and if no one ever hears that again,
right,
we have more music in our future. Like we believe in like the abundance of creative ideas.
Yes.
So we were never too connected to anything, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's something.
Which is kind of weird.
Well, there's something kind of liberating about that too, though, isn't there? I mean.
Well, the fact that it's not a reality, you know, like it's sort of like a delusional reality.
Things
yeah.
do seem to be much more streamlined with the two of us.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, from a writing standpoint, it's if you're sensitive, you get into real delicate things. You're deep into ideas, and you don't want to get into a tug of war over ideas. And you know, you have a vision, and it's really hard to compromise a vision. And yes, so we do work best that way. But you know, we are coming out of the other side of that too. We have a couple of people playing with us now that are just incredible musicians. They understand what we're doing. They're not fighters. They're somebody that understand and just want to make things better.
Yeah.
So it just takes the right people. It's like anything. The difference between things going great and going terribly is the people that are involved.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Chemistry is everything. I mean, chemistry is everything.
Well, and you guys have to be kind of picky too about who you bring into the project, right? Because you obviously have such a bond. I mean, it sounds like it's almost intuitive, right, with the two of you. So anybody who you bring in has to be able to not necessarily match that energy, but at the very least not disrupt it either, right?
Totally. Yeah, totally. It's very sensitive. It's actually kind of scary. Because we both know, we're like, wow, we're so sensitive, and these things, you know, you take for granted, like a momentum or the stability of ideas and direction. That we're both so sensitive that you know you get the wrong ingredient in the mix, and we're like, wow, what if somebody would could derail us? We're committed to not letting anything like that happen.
Yeah.
You know, we feel more stable at this point in our lives than probably when we were younger and more sensitive.
Sure.
We did already have a familiarity with both of these guys we brought in, so
well, that
we've known
helps
them for quite a while.
Yeah, they're actually old friends, and they totally get it. We've never experienced things opening up and just working. You know, like we're talking about, like, oh, it's just the universe provides and all this stuff. It's been actually scary to us how it's just sort of this path keeps opening.
Right.
We don't understand. I mean, from Shauna, it's Shameless that's been working with us for the last, you know, since last year.
Yep.
Just opening these different roads and connections. And when we were younger, we tried so hard and we worked so hard and pushed so hard. And now it's just different. It's like everything is just falling into place in a way that it feels sort of serendipitous.
Yeah. Shout out to Shauna, by the way, because she sends us so many great guests. That's how we met you guys through her, obviously. Yeah. And anybody she sends us, we automatically will book because she only works with really high quality artists like you guys. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah, she's been amazing, and we said to ourselves, what have we done to deserve her? You know, she's enriched our lives. I mean, just on a personal level too, not just the business, but just connecting with someone who is sharp and who cares, and is just you feel like you have people going the same direction together, and it's kind of you hope that rising tide lifts all boats.
Right, exactly. So we talked about how the reunion came about. What was it that caused the band's long absence to begin with? I mean, you kind of alluded to it, like you guys are kind of flash and burn types anyway, so maybe you were never that connected to it in the beginning. I don't know, like what? Because again, that's a quarter century of no Lowsunday.
I know. Well, early on, we're deeply, deeply committed early on. I mean, we worked very hard. We pushed hard. We tried everything. I mean, we were working and we were going through, we had a couple really stable lineups, and things would go really well, and then something would fall apart. And then there was like a burnout with that. I think the last thing that kind of, we did a record in 99. That record, we finished it. We went to England and promoted it for like 5 months. Everything fell apart when we went there. Nothing went right.
Ooh.
We came back from England right before Christmas, and we started working. We had been distributing through Project's Darkwave catalog for years with other material, but we finally got signed to Project, and Project was going to re-release the same record that we had been promoting and pushing already. So we had to it's like do a round two promoting the same record. Just all those things just led to us we just got cooked somehow. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But in the self-preservation, it's always been for the creative. Like anything and we're like this now, anything that starts to threaten the creative, the love to do it, the desire to do it, anything that does that will run to save the creative. It's like protecting the egg.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, but yeah, sometimes it's been very self-sabotaging. We're trying not to do that these days. We're more focused and definitely more aligned. Yeah.
When you talk about because I love these kind of music industry war stories. When you talk about you went to England and just everything went wrong, like what do you mean? Like what kinds of things went wrong? I know you don't want to relive that probably, but just give me a little bit.
Well, roughly, we got there in like the middle of summer after finishing a record in the spring.
Yeah.
The record wasn't even pressed yet. We had a DAT tape that we took to Olympic Studios in London, and we were having CDRs made that we were starting to pass out. We're pursuing a manager over there that ended up being in the Bahamas all summer. We thought we're just gonna go to him. We're gonna find him. We're just gonna go there. We're gonna give him our stuff. He's gonna love us.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Well, we get there. We call him, and like they said, oh, he's on holiday. Like he won't be back until. So he was gone for 2 months. Then the rest of our lineup the other band members couldn't come over. And then we're trying to put a band together through the Melody Maker. And then with Melody Maker, the ad we placed, they put the wrong contact information. They were the typo.
Oh no!
So we lost like a month to a typo in Melody Maker before we could get that corrected. And then it was pure chaos. We were trying to find a place to live, and if you weren't there at 8:30 in the morning to see an apartment, it was gone by 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And we're living an upside down life. We're out all night. So to go look for an apartment. So it would everything just kind of went wrong.
Yeah.
And cost of living was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it kind of fell apart. It was a great experience. We got to hang out with the late Nick Marsh from Flush for Lulu. That was probably the highlight of our whole trip. We were hanging out in Camden with some of the old timers like that. Everything else went completely wrong.
And just for context too, for people who don't realize, this was at a time when it wasn't pre-internet, but it was certainly pre-social media, and so in terms of communicating with people and logistics and all of it, it still was much tougher than what we have today in that regard. So
Totally, yeah. You're dealing like cell phones were starting to come up a little bit. They're improving.
Yep.
But you'd have, being in another country, you have a burner phone. Even the burner phones, like I could talk about things going wrong. The burner phones, it was like they're advertised. You would buy like an $80 prepaid thing, and it was supposed to be for 1 pence a minute. For international phone calls. They were so scammy that you would be on the phone for 10 minutes and it would use up your 80-pound card that you just bought.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just all these things just kept getting, it was just kind of funny. It was all our fault for just being naive,
Well, you were young and, you had a lot going on, but you guys, so after it stopped though, you guys both went on to, you went and played in other bands. So it's not like you guys left the music industry, right? You both stayed busy.
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
That's good.
Yep. Maybe, at least for a good 10 years after that, we were heavily active in different projects and, just pushing in different directions. Creatively, when you do what you do naturally, you start saying, well, am I being creatively lazy? Like, can I write, like we do all this atmospheric crazy delay and echoey stuff, and it's dark and it's dreamy and it's all this stuff, like pushing ourselves like for me, it was like getting back to more like the punk rock roots I grew up with, like saying, these songs are really straight. Can I write a straight song without hiding behind fog machines and effects and all this kind of stuff?
Interesting.
You want to creatively challenge yourself,
Right. Now, I'm curious too for both of you, when you put Lowsunday aside, after your terrible experience and all of that, was it kind of like at the time, did you think, okay, so this is in the rearview mirror now we're just each going to go forward, or was it always, and you both might have two completely different answers, so I'm curious, or was it always kind of in the backs of your minds that we'll probably revisit this someday?
Bobby, do you have a
Shane and I, even after I moved away, Shane and I continued to discuss music and share ideas.
Yeah.
So I think that there was always sort of a dream that maybe we would come back together at a point.
Yeah.
Didn't really have an idea of the reality of that or not, but I think it, on some level, we viewed it as a possibility if things lined up properly.
Yeah, and the band for me, I mean, like Lowsunday Ghost Machine, that was sort of, for me, that was like a coming of age band. That's where, you go through the teenage stuff, we go through the punk rock, you go through like the first heartbreak stuff, and then I find myself in my early 20s, and I'm hearing these heartbreak songs. Like I remember my sister playing like all these new wave kind of classics. Like she was always deep into all this whole other side of things, and you kind of go through that dark period. And so when I came out of all that stuff, I sort of felt sort of forced with that background. And so this project has always felt like my first, like sort of a baby to, like where you say, this is who I am and this is what I do and this is where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I never wanted to abandon it so much. And we always were maybe thinking of an opportunity to get back. I felt like it would never go away.
Right.
It was just like, when will our heads be in the right space to elaborate on those ideas more deeply?
Okay, no, that makes sense. I feel like too that the sound you guys have is sort of timeless. That I don't know how you feel about these labels, and I'm curious to know like shoegaze and darkwave. But I feel like I feel like the sound that you have is timeless, in that we listen to something like You're So Wired. It sounds current, but it also sounds like it could have come out in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And I feel like
appreciate that. Yeah.
And I feel like these genres like shoegaze, darkwave, they kind of lend themselves to that. There's a certain timelessness to that whole sort of vibe and that production style and all of that. But I mean, how do you guys feel about those labels? I mean, do you call yourselves shoegaze? Do you call yourselves darkwave? Do you care about that, or do you let other people just kind of decide what to call you? Or
well, like it's funny because it's like, just as you're saying, like the internet was kind of weak at that point.
Yeah.
So a lot of the genre bending stuff was also weak. So there's people that when early on people didn't know what to call us. We didn't, like we were like, well, is it gloom pop? Is it synthwave? It was post punk, but there wasn't a real heavy label. Even shoegaze, there wasn't a hardcore, hard term really for that. I mean, it was maybe in the really small circles, but broadly there wasn't.
Right.
We don't mind all the labels. It's funny, like now with all the we've found ourselves. We're looking back. We're saying we were a gloomwave band from the beginning, and it was a genre that, over the years, it starts to come to life, and we're saying we're like archetypal gloomwave, and didn't know it, and it's sort of like retroactively you're able to label things more easily.
Right.
But we don't mind the labels. We like it all. I mean, the darkwave stuff we relate to. Even our first real good distribution in the mid '90s was through Project had a distribution catalog called the Darkwave Catalog. And we're distributing through darkwave, so that was sort of our definition of it. We just thought it was what it is exactly. I still can't define.
Right.
But no, we don't mind. We don't mind the labels. It's all good.
Okay.
We feel like we never fit exactly into one.
Yeah.
Which is challenging.
Yeah, but it's funny because when you, and the way the industry works, it's helpful in a marketing sense if you can be categorized and sort of labeled, and but creatively, I think it's probably more fulfilling if it's hard to label you and categorize you. You know what I mean? Because then you feel, you're doing something truly interesting if it's hard for people to put a label on it.
Well, what's funny, early on, like someone would pin us. They'd say, "Oh, you're a goth band," we did the same thing that we grew up watching, like Bauhaus and Echo and the Bunnymen and The Cure. You watch all these other people. They're like, "No, we're not. No, we're not." Like I think the best thing we could do is anytime you just deny. You keep just denying, saying, "Oh, well, no, I don't think we're that. I don't think." We denied ourselves sort of into like obsolescence.
Right.
We're not that. We're nothing. We're not.
I'm curious too about the name. So originally, when you formed in 1994, it was Lowsunday Ghost Machine, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
And then it became, and eventually just Lowsunday as one word. But where does the name come from? What is the meaning of that?
Lowsunday Ghost Machine is actually, it was a combination. It was partly a ripoff. At the time, one of my favorite bands in the world was the band Low Life. Low Life, I thought, were like should rule the planet. And I connected with them so deeply. It's like, oh, low is a great word. Low is a really good word, but like a strong word.
Yeah.
And then I went through a series of things. It's hard to describe. I would maybe just say like emotional low points where it felt like this. I was like, wow, there's like this almost like a systematic punishing sort of thing. And why it always feels like it's like Sundays and it's like Sunday night and like could you end up in the clink? Like what is this whole oppressive force? And it was sort of out of that, that we just sort of spun this thing. And then what's funny is the music was sort of like almost an extension of that. And that, like, we used a lot of fog machines. It was like this big swirly kind of mess.
Yeah.
it was almost captured the emotion of the feeling that was actually the origin of the whole project.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's cool too to have a name that makes people curious. But when you shortened it to Lowsunday, was that the label wanting that, or?
It was in 1997. We had just played with the band Kleine Zymox. We had just done a show with them in Pittsburgh. It was like a highly publicized show. It was the best show we'd ever played.
Yeah.
They were on a record label at the time called Tess. Tess was like a dream pop label from Santa Barbara. The main guy in his band was This Ascension, and This Ascension was, they had already been doing really well in that world. They had signed Kleine Zymox, who was killing it at the time. And so we had opened for Kleine Zymox. We get on their bus after the show, and we got offered a record deal right there.
Wow.
We signed it. I don't know whatever happened. It completely fell through.
Oh, no.
I learned years later, I think, what happened. Yeah. It was the biggest disappointment of our lives because we're like, Zymox is working with the same producers as The Cure, and they're getting their records mixed by, John Rivers or, all this David Allen, all these crazy people. And we were like, just again, naive. But at the same time, talking to the label, it was like, it might be better to shorten the name. It'd be much easier. I still regret it because I like the long name better.
Oh, really?
Which is why we keep tagging it into. Yeah, I love the long name. And again, talking about like pre-internet and all that stuff, I was tired of typing that name.
Yeah.
It was like so many letters and words that I thought, if we can shorten it, let's shorten it. Like I'm sick of typing the word or all the name. So.
Yeah. I'm also curious to ask you about the video for You're So Wired. It's pretty cool. How did you collaborate with somebody on this, or was this DIY? Or I mean, it really fits the vibe of the song. I like the black and white aesthetic of it. I like everything about this, and I encourage people, not right now, stay with us for now, but after the show, please, everyone, go to YouTube and look up Lowsunday, You're So Wired, and check out this video. But
thank you.
What can you tell us about this video?
Well, the video it's pretty interesting because we've done a whole series of videos over the last year.
Yeah.
he was actually a close friend originally with Bobby. And his name's Jer Herring, and Jer Herring, like he had a lot of music success too. Like he was in the band Dink, if you remember the band Dink.
Okay.
In the 1990s, they hosted like 120 Minutes, and they had done really well there on Capitol. They were doing all this crazy stuff and really talented. But Jer started getting into doing videos, and him and Bobby had stayed in touch. But Jer, with each video that he does for us, we sort of let go a little bit more, and just he kind of leads us into a direction. He wants the lyrics. He wants to know what's going, what the song's roughly about, and then he just sort of interprets it in a way. And then we sort of collaborate a little bit just to tweak it. But he's been nailing it for us, and he captured something in the last one. But yeah, and the aesthetic, the black and white aesthetic, is something that we're really, we're really kind of clinging to a black and white aesthetic right now. And I think it goes to the timeless thing that you're talking about. It's something that's less. You can't really read it. You don't know when or where it was.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very cool. Like I said, I encourage people to check it out. And the other thing too that we haven't talked about that I want to touch on is the concept of the black EP and the white EP. Very curious about that. Obviously, that's an interesting approach. Was that your idea? Was that the label? Like who came up with that? Because it's very interesting.
Well, yeah, that was something we wanted to do. First off, we like the more immediate gratification of the EPs.
Yes.
Where because we had found, like even with the remasters, by the time you had a 12-song album and 5 remixes or old material that we had added in, like bonus tracks, we felt like a lot of stuff was just getting kind of falling between the cracks.
Yeah.
And we're saying, let's just put out 5 strong songs and they'll be out quickly. They'll be heard. It's like paying attention to 5 things instead of 17 things.
Right.
But yeah, the white and the black, where it became, the first idea was like, okay, these records, it's going to be, the 2 covers are part of one bigger picture. It's going to be a vertical poster. When you put the one on top of the other, it'll line up, and it's like this brutalist image, this artwork, and it starts lighter. The white EP it's blown out a little more, and as it goes into the black EP, that cover's even darker. It just has a gradient that sort of captured the feel. So we knew there was going to be 2 EPs. We also knew that we were sort of so excited getting in the studio that we knew that we're like sort of the manic aspect where you first get in and you're excited and you're pumping out this stuff that shows all this enthusiasm and excitement.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that was going to settle down, and you come back to your real self, which might be not quite as peaked out.
Sure.
So the black EP, we kind of thought it would kind of go that direction, and we kind of wanted to push it that way too, to get back to some of our darker roots and see how far we could go that direction also.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's a great concept.
So,
yeah.
I was saying, it was just fun. It was like one of those things. It wasn't super planned out. It just all sort of made sense on it was probably a 5-minute discussion.
Well, it's an interesting, because it kind of addresses an interesting conundrum that exists in 2026 that did not exist in the late 90s or mid to late 90s. In that, how do you, what do you do? There's so many different ways to release music now. You could release an album, you could release EPs, you could release a series of singles. A lot of artists now kind of do the inverse of what used to be the model, where they release a series of singles that eventually coalesce into an EP or an album, and that's
totally.
Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum because, you got to feed that machine, in terms of algorithms. You got to think about that and social media and all of it. So, So I think doing the EPs makes sense.
The attention thing has shifted, too. Even our own, where people are content with, 10-second clips. You could almost see a future where your whole album is 10-second clips of each song.
Right.
And people just swipe it, and you're like, 40 seconds later, like, that was a great album.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, this has been wonderful. Shane and Bobby, I really appreciate you both joining us today on the show. In a couple of moments,
it's a pleasure.
Absolutely. In a couple of moments, we're going to play. We're going to end our conversation with another great track that I love. This Is Not Heaven. Anything anything you can tell us about this one? Anything we should know before we play it?
We've thoroughly enjoyed recording that song. It just as it started to come to life. It was very angular, like injecting the sort of the growly kind of synth stuff into the choruses. It was and it was kind of fun to do it as an understatement. Like it's sort of understated. It's like a real calm, sort of like a subtle, like this is not heaven. In other words, like this is hell.
Right.
But it was fun just to creatively do something with that's just a huge understatement of a situation.
Yeah. No, I like it a lot. This is a really good track. And before we do that too, and before we let you guys go, where's the best place to go online to keep up with everything that Lowsunday is doing?
We tend Instagram. We're really focused. That seems to be our most comfortable outlet. Where we seem to be the most active.
Yeah.
It does trickle off into Facebook and even on a lesser level like TikTok.
Sure.
But but our main two hubs would be either our Bandcamp, like for instance our label Project. They're really Bandcamp centered. Like everything is on Project is at Project's Bandcamp. That's where you buy all our records, all our T-shirts. You can buy their whole catalog is there.
Yeah.
It's been a really interesting platform. So Bandcamp and Instagram, those are the two big ones for us.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Bandcamp. I'm a big fan of Bandcamp, and if Shauna happens to be, if she happens to be listening, I'm sure she's heard me say this 1,000 times. But what a lot of people don't realize about Bandcamp too is if you get the music from there, you get a higher quality file than you do if you're just say streaming it from YouTube or in some instances perhaps even Spotify. Like with Bandcamp, you get a high quality file, which is important.
It's such a nice platform. It's such a nice platform. It's like a dashboard that makes managing the whole deal like really really easy. And I say that as if I know what I'm talking about, but from what I hear, it's amazing.
No, it's true. It's true. It's very artist friendly, and it's an incredible platform. So we're big. And they don't pay us. We're not. They don't sponsor the show or anything. I just say that because I think Bandcamp is amazing, and I'm actually to be honest. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying we say it the same way as you. It's like what's amazing. It's such a strong platform, and there's no catch.
Right.
It's not like here's where they get you. They're going to try to. It's just it works so well. It's so tied together. I mean, it couldn't be a more perfect platform. You hope nobody comes along and ruins it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was going to say I'm always surprised when I encounter artists who are not on Bandcamp. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you? I encounter a surprising number of artists who are not. But they should be.
Well, you're a musician too, right, Matt?
Yes.
I thought that was my understanding. You're a musician too. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a bass player. I'm not currently active because, as you know, it's a lot of work. But you have to really fit it into your space. That's cool though. Yeah, we love bass. We're both huge bass fans. Yeah. Oh, nice, outstanding. Well, listen, we'll let you guys go. We're going to hit this track. This is not heaven. But again, thank you so much, Shane and Bobby from Lowsunday. And we'll definitely do this again in the future. Sounds like you guys got a lot going on. So we look forward to more music from you. And, we'll definitely have you back.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you in Manchester or nearby sometime. We're going to start playing some shows, so we'll see. If we ever get up that way, we'll let you know.
Keep us posted. Absolutely. All right, sounds good.
All right, Matt. Thanks so much.
All right, you got it, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
You got it. Anytime. Thank you. Take care.
Great meeting you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that is Shane and Bobby from Lowsunday. And let's go ahead and hit this track. Another great track from the Black EP. I really like this a lot. This is called This Is Not Heaven.